What is going on YouTube? My name is Minh. Welcome back to another video. Yes, it's kind of weird. I'm actually sitting down speaking to you guys rather than moving around doing a bunch of jump clips and stuff like that. But I wanted to make this weekly doc a little bit more informative with a bunch of information rather than me running around making these edits and stuff like that. I've really thought about kind of the audience that I'm reaching out to. I love what I do, being creative with editing and stuff like that. I'm going to continue doing that, but some weeks I'm just gonna sit back in my chair where my whiteboard is and just talk and be able to teach you guys about certain stuff in digital marketing that's gonna help you guys. You guys can sit here for 25, 30 minutes, take notes, maybe play it while you're driving, or even sit back and listen. Something that I do a lot is before I go to bed, I usually put on a 30 to 40 minute informational video, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, anybody in the Smma space, so I can just learn. And when I go to bed, the subconscious mind is still working, and all the information that is being provided from them will go into my brain. Now that sounds a little bit weird, but you can do your own research on the subconscious mind and how that all works. So this video is going to be about 3 questions to ask yourself when picking the right niche. I get this question all the time. Hey, Minh, can I go into this niche? Do you think it's profitable? Is it easy? Is it going to make me money? And well, at the end of the day, my number one thing that I've always been following since day one is how you do things. It's because of your mindset. You are where you are today is because of how you think and act, right? So how you act is because of how you think. Hopefully that's not too confusing, but yes, you guys want to have the right mindset. When going into digital marketing and social media, it's an actual business. It's a business that you have to learn how to run. Now, if you guys are just getting in here and thinking Facebook ads is what all you have to know how to do and you're good, you're making 20, 30, 40, 50,000 K, I'm sorry to inform you, but that's not how it works. This is an actual business that takes business skills and business technology, business tech, and it takes a lot of business knowledge to be able to run. So when a person comes up to me and say, hey, you run a social media marketing, doesn't it just run Facebook ads on social media? I'm like, yes, but there's a whole back end system to that, and how you run your business is another thing. So I wanted to answer this question in this video. Hopefully I don't make it about 20, 30 minutes. It's just around 15 minutes is probably the sweet spot for this video, where I'm going to be going over 3 questions to ask yourself before choosing the niche to go into. Now, before I get into this, I want to let you guys know, if you guys are beginners into digital marketing, you guys just learned about social media marketing or marketing in general, my biggest tip to you guys is to reach out to family and friends who have businesses or who knows people with businesses, and just go ahead and work with that business. Don't go into a niche right away, because I feel like that just limits you. My thing is just to work for somebody, get paid, or even do a free trial if you're doing it for the first time. If you don't feel good, working for somebody when you have absolutely no, knowledge of digital marketing, you just want to try it out. My biggest tip is just to go out, work with any type of business, salons, spas, realtors, roofing, carpet cleaning, anything like that, pest control, any business that you can work for, go ahead and tap into that. Do it for about 2 to 3 months and just test a bunch of niches, work for a bunch of clients. And then by the end of 3 months, you guys should have an idea of exactly kind of the niche you guys like to work in, and what makes you guys the most money. Now, if you guys are done after 3 or 4 months, picking kind of all these type of niches, and you guys are ready to niche down, these are the 3 questions to ask yourself when niching down. So question number 1 is, how easy is it to get in touch with the business owner / decision maker? When you get on a meeting, you want to be able to talk to the decision maker, or else 99% of the time you're going to get a response of hey, let me talk to X, Y, and Z, let me talk to my spouse, let me talk to the owner. And that is definitely something that you guys don't want to deal with. Now, it's going to happen occasionally, so it's just part of the game. When it comes to this, when I talk about how easy is it to get in touch with the owner, that means when you prospect the business, how or what is the chances are you getting in touch with the owner? For instance, personally with my agency, we reach out to salons and spas. I've been working in the salon industry since I was a little kid. A lot of my family members do work in salons, even better own salons. So I was a receptionist for one of the salons for about 2 years. So I kind of understand how a salon is ran. Business wise, I even went in the back end of, revenue and, systems and all that stuff for the salon, which is amazing because it gives me that initial knowledge before I even get into that niche. So that was a bingo for me. But how easy is it to get in touch with the owner? The owner of the salon that I worked at, which is a family member, worked in the salon every single day. They're in the salon every single day, 7 days a week. Now, that should draw a picture for you guys that getting in touch with these people is very easy because they're always in the salon. But the hard thing is they're working. It's very rare that they're going to check their emails and Facebook messages right when you send it, but they will. Those are 99, about 8 out of 10 salon owners are in control of their social media / emails. The bigger type of salons aren't, and they have somebody who handle that, like a social media manager or something like that. But if you can get to the social media manager, you can set a meeting through them and have the owner on the phone call as well. You should be ready to go. Comparing to a restaurant where, some owners do work in restaurants, but most of the time these high-paying restaurants that you want to work for, because not all restaurants or a lot of restaurants can't afford digital marketing at $1,000, $2,000 per month for retainer. They probably can afford around a couple $100, and that's from me experiencing it with somebody that I know that has been in the restaurant niche, that pretty much gave me kind of the in-depth of like, it's not hard to deliver results for, but they just don't have a lot of money to put out for digital marketing, as in the restaurant food industry, profits are very low. So when getting in touch with them, it is very hard, and 9 out of 10 times when you cold call, for instance, I had somebody reach out to me and they told me that he was in the restaurant niche, he was cold calling and it didn't work. And I'm like, well, you're cold calling a restaurant that is probably busy and everybody is making some type of food, and you're probably talking to the person that takes an order. The owner's never going to pick up the phone. Or if they do, they're not in the mindset of talking to you about digital marketing. They're more of just like, cool, how can I help you? You want to take out or you want to dine in? Like, what is it that you want? So they're not really in that mindset, but you can email them, you can reach them with creative ways like joining Facebook groups with restaurant owners and stuff like that. But how easy is it to get in touch with them? It's pretty much impossible if you want to cold call and stuff like that. And they're always doing something. They're always working in their business. Another example I can give you guys is real estate agents. See these billboards of real estate agents and you call them, that's their number. That is how you get in touch with them. So real estate agents, it's very easy to get in touch with them. But that brings me to number 2. How much is one client worth to the business? Now, I'm going to use 2 examples. One is real estate, roofing, how these niches are very high end, but at the same time, there's a downside to it. And then also going into the other side is the barbershop. So how much is one client worth to the business? To play it simple for you guys, if you guys do the math, if you guys were to go get a haircut at a barbershop, it's probably around $15 to $20. And the barbershop's probably taking home 50% after paying for the electric, the barbers, and all this other stuff. They're probably taking home like a little bit under 50%. But if you go to the other side, where you're talking about roofing and real estate, we have dived firsthand into roofing. We worked for a close friend of ours who had a friend that was in a roofing company, and we only worked with them for about a month or 2. It wasn't something that we, technically knew a lot about. So we went in there with a mindset of, hey, let's do commission. We did get them a client, so this is how it kind of broke down. The client goes and pay the roofing client around $10,000 to $15,000. I don't know the exact number, or I'm not sure if I can disclose it. So it's around $10,000 to $15,000, and then the roofing company takes home about half of that, sometimes 40% of that, and then we get 15% of kind of how much they take home. I'm pretty sure we took home about $650 to $700 off of that deal. That's just one deal. We bought them a total of about 12 to 15 leads. Some people qualified and didn't go through. This guy ends up, walking through and going with the company. So we made about $600 to $700. Now, if you imagine working with them full time and spending at least $1,000, I think we'd spend about $500 on ad spend, spending about $1,000, and you had an actual marketing plan for this roofing business, and every client that you bring into them, they're profiting easily $4,000 to $6,000. Just imagine how much they can pay you. Same thing for real estate. Now, if you're getting into real estate game, an average kind of percentage that a realtor takes home from the home that he sells, it's about 3%, 2 to 3%. So if a $100,000 home sold, I'm pretty sure he takes home about 3%. Don't quote me on that, but that's kind of the margins around there. So real estate people do make a lot of money if they sell a good amount of homes. So if you're dealing with a realtor who's selling homes around $500,000 to $1 million, 3% of that, you can do the math. I'm not even gonna waste my time. So those two niches are very high end. Each one client is worth, like, you can get the one client, they can pay for your $1,000, $2,000 retainer. But if you go to the barbershop, how many haircuts would you have to bring in for that guy to pay off $1,000 marketing and then a $500 to $1,000, budget on ads? Like, it's just not going to work for them, and it's just not their cup of tea, right? So barbershop is a no-go when reaching out to like digital marketing on Facebook ads. But real estate, roofing, carpet cleaning, pest control, these niches are very, very good to tap into. Now it brings me to the third question and the last question, and it's pretty much, how much profit is the business bringing home? Now you're probably asking me like, hey, how do I know how much? I'm not even in their business. How do I know? Guys, Google it, have a calculation. If you've looked up real estate profit margins as a realtor, it'll give you information. Study the niche. Don't just look at how easy it is to get into, in touch with the owner, how much money they make and all that stuff. Look in depth of the niche of like, oh, how much information would I have to know? If you guys get obsessed and really into the niche, you guys will be able to succeed as marketers because you guys understand the industry as much as they do, if not even better, and then add your marketing mindset, skills, knowledge into the game. You'll be able to change it and make everybody tons of money, which then will make you tons of money. So how much profit do they take home? Now, there's profit margins comes from what's after tax, what's after paying, overhead, or what's after paying employees, stuff like that. So for example, again, realtors, they're taking home, if they were to sell something, they would, take home like X, like, I don't even know, like, I'm not even gonna draw a number up, but let's just say they sold a $200,000 home, they take home $10,000. The company that they're working for, if they're not an independent realtor, will probably take about 60 to 50% of that, 50 to 60%, and then they're left with their cut. I don't know how it goes, but all you got to know is their profit margin is very, very high, where they're making at least $1,000 to $2,000, sometimes $3,000 on the low end on every single deal that they close. And then after tax, they're taking home at least a couple thousand. They're always going to stay on the $1,000 profit when it comes to selling a home. And then going over to roofing, like I told you guys, they're taking at least $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, sometimes $10,000 after, in profit. This is after paying employees, after paying for materials, after paying, for overhead. If they have an office, they're taking home thousands of dollars. After taxes, they're still left with thousands of dollars. So it's worth going after them because one client you bring them is worth thousands of dollars to them. So to draw the picture, if you charge a realtor $1,000 a month and an ad spend of $1,000, and you deliver him 50 leads, and he closes on the low end 2 deals per month. Now these 2 deals are about $300,000 each. He's taking home at least $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. Now you can do the math. You're charging him $2,000. You bought him 2 clients that he closed. He's bringing home anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 for selling houses above $350,000, $400,000. Don't mark my word, because they're in different states. There's different pay. You got to be able to talk to realtor, and really dig deep into the business in the area. But that is kind of the numbers of what I've heard and experienced, hands-on working with realtors, talking to people with realtors. I know up to 10, 15 people in the real estate game. So that's just kind of the numbers that has always popped up in my mind. So those are the 3 questions that you want to ask yourself before choosing the niche. Wow, there's more in depth, like I said earlier in the video, of looking up the niche, doing research about the niche and the industry to get to know, one, the people in it, how they run their business, what type of profit margins, like I said, and kind of what their ideal client is, and how easy and how long is the closing process and stuff like that. So to end this video, I want to let you guys know why I went with the salon and spa industry. Number 1, I had back-end experience in the salon industry, so it's just a lot easier for me to relate with them. 2, we found a couple offers that work really well in the industry. So we're like, hey, listen, we can deliver 50, 100 leads, no problem. All we have to figure out is how we're going to get these people into the salon and be able to actually get the service done and pay the salon the money. We figured that out. And then also we realized that salons, they can afford $1,000. Some high-end spas, they can afford $2,000, $2,500, because, for instance, services that spas do is like microblading, laser hair removal. Hair salons does full head hair highlight. These services are $100 to $200. You know, if you do a full microblading 6-visit package, that's up to $900 per client. Now, if they're paying you $1,000, $500 ad spend, and you bring them 50 leads and 2 people did the microblading 6-visit, they already made their money back with no question. So that's kind of why we went into the salon industry, and it's an industry that I want to be able to help a lot of salons out and be able to work with them to build their social media, to build their Facebook ads, because and not even just Facebook ads, but the kind of the back end. Something that we added into our agency recently that has helped a lot of salons is adding a pre-booked option where, you know, clients can look at the ad, you know, fill out their information and be able to prepay, pre-booked the appointment online, so the client doesn't have to be hands-on calling the leads or anything like that. So that's something that we recently did. That's where it draws the picture, guys. We didn't do that in the beginning, but you know, going into an actual business, you got to find the next solution, because a lot of our clients were complaining and say, hey, nobody's coming in. We're getting tons of bookings, but nobody's showing up. We're like, hey, let me just develop a system to get prepaid so we get more qualified leads. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it on why we went to the salon and spa industry. Let me know what niche you guys decide to go into, and kind of any more questions you guys have, leave it below. I know this is kind of a new video about me talking for almost 20 minutes about this, and hopefully this helps you guys understand, you know, more about how to pick the right niche and what's profitable and what's not. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys like the video, click the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.